Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. Ethereum moves down in this potentially corrective price channel, okay? And we talked about it in previous videos. We said that it needs to show us here a reaction above 1850. If it doesn't do that, it's likely going to break down. Now it could still be some kind of a diagonal structure it's unfolding here, but then it really seems to be the last call now to do it. It needs to turn around somewhere here in this region. We're now at the golden ratio, the 61.8 retracement level of the wave 3. Basically the last call. Yes, it could still go a little lower, but if we talk about a decent chance for a fifth wave up, it needs to do it here. The thing is, the move down looks very corrective, so I will not rule out that it gives us another high. This would be different if we were seeing some kind of an impulsive sell-off, but at the moment we see a corrective pullback, even though it comes deeper than it should do. But it really feels like the last few inches. Yeah, it should move much more. If it does, then it's going to follow the leading wave count. You may remember that we talked about that the white wave count is still the leading wave count, that we still see this as a B wave top, and that we will come down once more lower into the yellow support area according to the white wave count. That would be preferred at this stage. However, if it gives us another high, we can say that it formed 5 waves. At this stage, I would call these 5 waves questionable, because what is here labeled as a 4th wave is too long and too deep. So it would be very questionable if it was giving us here a 5th wave. I might then have to call that a larger diagonal as on the Bitcoin chart. It will be messy, it will not be easy. Highlighted many times that the path higher will be a rocky road. It will not be as easy as it has been in previous bull markets. It will not be as easy as it has been years ago in rallies. It just isn't the market for that. That's also why we don't really see significant altcoin rallies. It's not an altcoin market at the moment. Now, you always get the odd altcoin to rally, but that's not really what we understand as alt season. So yeah, I mean, here potentially retesting, you see this descending trend line in yellow, potentially retesting this trend line, getting there very closely, tested already, but failed to rally impulsively. Any test of the trend line so far resulted just in a corrective rally. So two things, it's following here a potentially corrective price channel. Now, I'm not sure if that you could call that a descending wedge, not really, unless you apply the trend line here. Yeah, okay, maybe a bit of a descending wedge shape, but then this here would act as a fake out. I don't know, there are always different ways of how you can draw trend lines. This is certainly a valid way as well, with 3 touch points, and that's getting squeezed into the apex. So that's why I'm highlighting this sounds like the last call, and a breakout to the upside could give it a 5th wave up, but it would need to do a lot. I mean, can you see this? If it breaks out from here, it needs to rally 1.7%. That doesn't sound much, but these days it is. It would certainly make a few folks vibrate out of their chairs if we see a break or a rally of 2% intraday on the Ethereum chart. Nothing unusual normally, but yeah, these days it is noteworthy. I understand that because the market is extremely boring. But what I'm essentially saying is that it will turn quite bearish, you could say, short term at least. Yeah, we talk about short term here. If it breaks below the yellow trend line, and then it would be, we're in the larger yellow box anyway. I did take off the 38.2 fib level now, which I had on the chart before, because we already reached the 50% fib level down here. So technically our setup for higher is anyway fulfilled. Looking at the bigger picture, yeah, whenever we look at the smaller waves, never lose sight of the bigger picture. And it's just, otherwise you just have yellow everywhere, so I took it off. But yeah, 1828 or 1830 is still next major fib support. You can see how relevant it was before. Of course, you get your dips below, but it is like a bit of like a trampoline that price used to find support. Even here, yeah, gained a bit of weight here apparently, but jumped off. So again, let's see if it can act as support again. And below that, we've got 1780. Below that, we've got 1700 basically. And this is the last relevant bullish support in our larger setup that can set up price for a jump into the $2,500 region. The condition is that it's holding $1,700. that tells you a lot about where the risk is sitting. But in the very short term, it needs to prove to us that it can form 5 waves. But until then, the white wave count is the leading one. Okay, that's my update about Ethereum. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.